Paul Heyman just did the unthinkable. He kicked Brock Lesnar to the curb and replaced him with a monster. If you thought you'd seen everything in wrestling, think again. What's up, Suplex Rumble family? Welcome back to the channel where we break down the biggest, most jaw-dropping moments in professional wrestling. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell because you do not want to miss what we're covering today. Last night on Monday Night Raw, we witnessed something that nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming. Paul Heyman, the special counsel, the wise man, the advocate of advocates, just orchestrated one of the most shocking betrayals in recent WWE history. He severed ties with the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar, and welcomed a new enforcer into the Vision, the absolute powerhouse, Femi. Let's dive deep into this bombshell, break down what happened, explore what it means for the future, and discuss why this could change everything. Before we get into the chaos of last night, let's rewind and set the stage. Paul Heyman has been synonymous with Brock Lesnar for over a decade. The two have been practically inseparable, Heyman doing the talking while Lesnar does the suplex, delivering title-winning damage. Together, they've dominated WWE, conquered WrestleMania, and made history. But recently, cracks started to show. Over the past few weeks, there's been tension brewing. Lesnar has been more unpredictable, more reckless, and frankly, less interested in following Heyman's strategic game plan. We've seen Brock dismiss Heyman's advice, go off script during promos, and even physically intimidate his own advocate. Meanwhile, the Vision, Heyman's new faction, has been growing. We've seen him align with rising stars, building something bigger than just one monster. Heyman has always been a master strategist, always thinking 3 steps ahead. And if there's one thing we know about Paul Heyman, it's that he's never been one to accept disrespect, even from a beast. The writing was on the wall, but nobody wanted to believe it. How could Heyman possibly walk away from Brock Lesnar? How could he replace the most dominant force in WWE? Well, ladies and gentlemen, last night we got our answer. Raw opened with Paul Heyman standing in the middle of the ring, microphone in hand, with that signature smirk on his face. The crowd was electric, expecting another one of his legendary promos. But something felt different. The atmosphere was tense. Heyman began by talking about legacy, about power, about evolution. He spoke about how the Vision isn't just about dominance, it's about the future of professional wrestling. He talked about loyalty, respect, and how those who cannot adapt will be left behind. And then he said it. Brock Lesnar, you are no longer needed. The arena erupted. Fans couldn't believe what they were hearing. Heyman continued, explaining that Brock had become complacent, that he'd lost his edge, that he no longer fit into the Vision's master plan. Heyman declared that the Vision needed someone hungrier, someone more focused, someone who represents the next generation of dominance. That's when the lights dimmed. The familiar sound of heavy footsteps echoed through the arena, and out walked Femi, all 6'4", 270 pounds of pure destruction. The NXT powerhouse made his Raw debut in the most significant way possible, standing shoulder to shoulder with Paul Heyman as the newest enforcer of the Vision. The crowd went insane. Some fans were cheering for the shocking debut, while others were booing the betrayal of Lesnar. The energy was absolutely chaotic. But wait, it gets better. Moments later, Brock Lesnar's music hit. The Beast stormed down to the ring, eyes locked on Heyman, looking like he was ready to tear the entire building apart. You could see the rage, the betrayal, the disbelief on his face. But Heyman didn't flinch. He stood behind Femi, that smirk still plastered on his face, and simply said, Brock, your services are no longer required. Security, please escort Mr. Lesnar from my ring. And here's where it got absolutely wild. Femi stepped forward, staring down the Beast incarnate himself. The two monsters locked eyes in one of the most intense stare-downs we've seen in years. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Security flooded the ring, creating a barrier between the two titans. Lesnar looked ready to explode, but before anything could happen, Raw went to commercial with one final shot, Paul Heyman raising Femi's arm in victory while Brock Lesnar was escorted up the ramp, seething with fury. What a moment. Now, let's break down the genius behind this move, because Paul Heyman doesn't do anything without a plan. First, Femi is the perfect choice. If you've been watching NXT, you know that Femi has been an absolute force. The former NXT North American champion is a physical specimen, powerful, agile, and intimidating. He's got the look, the presence, and most importantly, the hunger that Heyman mentioned. Femi represents the future, and aligning him with the greatest advocate in wrestling history is a match made in heaven or perhaps hell for everyone else on the roster. Second, Brock Lesnar had become too unpredictable. As much as we love the Beast, recent weeks showed that he wasn't following Heyman's strategic direction. In Heyman's world, that's unacceptable. Heyman needs someone who will execute the plan, not go rogue. Femi brings the discipline combined with devastating power. Third, this elevates the Vision to a whole new level. By replacing a legendary name like Brock Lesnar, Heyman is making a statement. The Vision is not about nostalgia, it's about domination moving forward. This isn't your father's WWE. This is a new era, and the Vision is leading the charge with fresh, hungry talent who will do whatever it takes to succeed. Fourth, the storytelling possibilities are endless. Think about it, we're now set up for an eventual collision between Brock Lesnar and Femi, the old guard versus the new generation, the Beast incarnate versus Heyman's new monster. This could main event a premium live event. Plus, we have to wonder, will Brock go on a path of destruction seeking revenge? Will other members of the Vision get caught in the crossfire? Will anyone be safe from Lesnar's wrath? This is the kind of long-term storytelling that keeps us all hooked. So where do we go from here? Let me give you my predictions for what's coming next in this explosive storyline. Prediction number 1: Brock Lesnar goes on a warpath. The Beast isn't just going to accept this and walk away. Expect Lesnar to tear through the roster, demanding a match with Femi. We could see him take out multiple superstars just to send a message to Heyman that you don't just dismiss the Beast incarnate. Prediction number 2: Femi proves himself immediately. To legitimize this move, WWE needs to have Femi rack up some impressive victories quickly. I'm talking dominant, statement-making wins against established main roster talent. He needs to show the WWE Universe that Heyman made the right choice. Prediction number 3: the Vision expands even further. With Heyman's biggest acquisition now in place, expect him to continue building the Vision. Could we see more NXT Call UPS? Could established superstars join the faction? The possibilities are exciting. Prediction number 4: this leads to a massive showdown. Whether it's at the next premium live event or even WrestleMania season, we're building toward Brock Lesnar versus Femi in what could be an absolute battle. Imagine the spectacle, two legitimate monsters colliding with Paul Heyman's allegiance hanging in the balance. Prediction number 5: someone else might benefit from this chaos. In WWE, when major players are focused on each other, that's when opportunistic superstars strike. Could someone like Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, or even a returning superstar take advantage of this situation? Keep your eyes open. Now it's time to hear from the Suplex Rumble family. I want your thoughts on this bombshell. Drop your comments below and let me know, were you shocked by Paul Heyman booting Brock Lesnar, or did you see it coming? Do you think Femi was the right choice to replace Lesnar in the Vision? Who wins in a match between Brock Lesnar and Femi? What do you think happens next for both Lesnar and the Vision? Should Brock Lesnar go after Heyman, Femi, or the entire Vision faction? I read every comment, and I love hearing your theories, predictions, and hot takes. The Suplex Rumble community is the smartest wrestling fan base on YouTube, so let's get that conversation going. And hey, if you're loving this content, show some love. Hit that like button, share this video with your wrestling friends, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you never miss another breakdown. What a time to be a wrestling fan, Suplex Rumble family. Last night's Raw delivered one of the most shocking moments of the year. Paul Heyman severing ties with Brock Lesnar and bringing in Femi is the kind of bold, unpredictable storytelling that reminds us why we love this business. The landscape of Monday Night Raw just changed forever. The Vision has a new enforcer, Brock Lesnar has a new target, and we're all here for the chaos that's about to unfold. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, check out our other videos where we cover all the latest wrestling news, rumors, and analysis. We've got playlists for Raw highlights, SmackDown breakdowns, NXT coverage, and so much more.